started, I'd like to introduce some people that are kind of responsible for many of us being here tonight. The tragedies that have happened in the community, the people that have been seeking answers and have been unable to get them. We would like to introduce Mrs. Schlothauer, her son Stu, and her daughter Sharon. I'd also like to introduce Mr. and Mrs. Boppre, Joe Richter, Valdez, and I believe his mother is here. Welcome to all of you. These people have one thing in common. They've all lost a loved one, one way or another, and they all want answers. To date, the only way that we can find out and figure out that we're going to get answers is through a grand jury. We want to welcome all the citizens here, the workers, petition carriers. I also want to welcome any member of the media. I believe there's one present. We'd like to identify some people from communities. How many people here are from Scotts Bluff? Raise your hand. How about Gary? Terrytown. Anybody from Terrytown? Mitchell. Anybody from Mitchell? What about Morrill? Minutair? Anybody from Lyman? Henry? Melbourne? From McGrew? As you can see, we have widespread support. We have people representing almost every community of the 10 towns that make up the county of Scotts Bluff. We need that widespread support in order to be successful. At this time, we'd also like to thank some members of the media. I want to thank Todd Van Kampen with the local newspaper for his article, a very positive, unbiased article that he wrote a couple of days ago. He followed that up with another article today that said basically the same thing that the public servants said they have been saying for the last 2 or 3 years. We're clean. I'd like to thank Kevin Mooney, radio announcing, and his interview, and all for the radio people that have given public service announcements announcing the petition in the meetings. I think when we first started, we started very slowly. The foundation was laid. Lately, we had to go out, start reorganizing, and get the petition drive moving. And the media, whether they realized it or not, gave us that great big push. That the people in this community those that have not seen the Valdez Condon crime scene video, we will be showing it tonight on the big screen, and that will be at the end of the meeting. So those that wish to watch it, please stay. More than welcome. We also have notes. While we were doing our investigation, we took the crime scene video and sent it to California, where some sound people tried to enhance the voices. We were able to find out what the people were saying in the background, and one of the things that was discovered that you will hear on the crime scene video references made at least 3 times to an informant. Bring in the informant. Unfortunately, there was never an informant identified in the court prior to the trial or during the trial. This information was kept from the defense. I want to thank all the business people that have made donations to the petition drive. I will not name them by name for their own protection, as they say. The people that have been providing us with lodging, meals, a couple of restaurants that have been feeding us, volunteers that have been preparing meals and bringing them to the office, people that have been doing the printing, supplies for the signs, use of equipment, just like this big screen tonight is a donation, use, office supplies, and office space. We've had questions come up about, are we connected to the people that used to be in that office? No, we are not. That office was donated to us. We have no connection to that person or people, and we have no connection to this petition drive. So if anybody asks you, that is the answer. I also want to thank all the business people in this community that have allowed us to come into their places of business, to put up flyers, posters, and to come in and ask their employees and customers to sign the petition. This has been an overwhelming support of the business people in this community and allowing this to happen. As you know, we need 1,163 good signatures. The person must be a registered voter, must be from Scotts Bluff County. The petitions will be scrutinized, and if the person is not a registered voter and not from Scotts Bluff County, the name will be crossed off the list, off the petition. So it is important that you get good signatures. It's kind of interesting that the people from Morrill County called and wanted to know if they could join in. We told them, no, this is strictly Scotts Bluff. And then some people called from Wyoming, and they wanted to know if they could join us. I said, no, we're sorry, this is just Scotts Bluff County. I guess there's a lot of people in the surrounding area that know and are aware of some of the things that are going on and would like to join in. They will help us in many other ways, through support, through their word, and coming forward. When you get petitions signed, make sure that the person signs the petition the same way they sign their voter registration card. It is important that the name on that petition matches the name on the voter registration card. If you're out helping, like some of our people, you're helping a registered voter, getting signatures, and you're not a registered voter yourself, make sure that the registered voter is carrying the petition and the person signs the petition in the possession of the registered voter. When your petition is filled it. When it's filled up, take it to a notary and have it signed in front of a notary stating you have seen the above people sign the petition. We must follow the law in order to make this successful. Do things right. And that's what we have to do. Notaries can be found at banks, car dealerships, new and used, attorneys' offices, various businesses, post offices. So go to the notaries in your areas and get them notarized. Anybody that has petitions with them tonight, please turn them in so we can get an accurate counting as where we are. I think the best signature we've gotten so far is the one that came to the office. A woman called and asked for a carrier to come out to the house that her husband would like to sign the petition. Her husband's on his deathbed. He was taking oxygen. He had a stroke. He was propped up in his bed. And he signed the petition. I think that tells us the story. Ladies and gentlemen, we need 1,163 signed good signatures. It's a real pleasure to let you know right now, this minute, we have in hand 972 signatures.
There's an update on the signature register beside you.
987.
Every little one counts.
Mona and Sue will give us a report towards the end of the evening, an update, so when you leave here, you'll know how many we've got in hand. As all of you know, we need lots more. More than 1,163, because many of these names will not be counted, will be crossed off for one reason or another. Not a registered voter, not signed correct name, not in the county, and perhaps a question about the address used. If you signed the petition and you have moved, you're to use the address that you had prior to moving. The address you had when you signed and registered. So if you moved and you put down your current address instead of your old address, it will probably be scratched. If you have done this, sign the petition again. That's all you have to do. You don't have to go back and find your name and scratch it off. All you have to do is sign the petition again using the correct address. I think Stu went over this afternoon and talked to the lady at the clerk's office. Stu, you want to tell us what she had to say about the addresses?
I talked to her this afternoon, and the most important part is the address. And it has to be the exact same address as to how you have it listed in the courthouse. If you was to move a month after you registered and you put your new address, it won't count. So basically, you have to use your old address to make it legal, as far as they're concerned. And if you live in the rural district with your emergency numbers, you can use either your rural route number or the new emergency number. That doesn't matter. But if you're to use your new address, you have to re-register. So to save that trouble, she's telling me that all you have to do is to use your old address, and it will count. But then the lady told me that's very, very important for us, the name to be taken off the list.
Are there any questions about that? Anybody signed the petition, used the wrong address? If you did, just re-sign another petition. That's all you have to do. Again, we're past the 900 mark. We're getting close. But we still need a lot more petitions in order to ensure that this drive is successful. We've set a goal of 1,500. If we can get 1,500 petitions, names, signatures, there should be no doubt that this petition drive will be successful. If we can get 2,000 signatures, that will be very, very impressive. And to those people that will look at these petitions, look at the grand jury request mandate, it will tell them a story. It will give them a signal that this community wants a grand jury. We need all of you to help. Keep working. We have 12 days. That is if we want to turn everything in on December 1st. We're not sure if it's supposed to be the 2nd or the 3rd, so we would like to turn it in on the 1st. again, guarantee that we are doing things by the rules. I want to take some time and make sure that all the work that we've done is successful. The more signatures, the more important and impressive things look. So, with your help, we will reach 2,000 signatures by December the 1st. We are overcoming some of the problems that have been put in front of us. And those things might be, people keep taking down the signs. Yard signs are disappearing and being destroyed. Posters are being taken down and being destroyed. Flyers are being thrown away. We can anticipate those types of things because there are people in this community that do not agree with what we are doing. We will proceed, but guys, we will go put some more signs up. We will go put some more yard signs up, and we will continue to do it until this petition drive is successful. We will support you, give you signs, make the posters, get the materials, and put them together. Tonight, before you leave, there's posters, there's 4 different types of flyers, there's yard signs, there's even smaller signs for your cars to put in your car windows. With that kind of thing, that kind of advertising, you will be able to reach out into your communities and get those signatures that are still waiting. Keep putting them up. Don't get discouraged. We're on the downhill side. If you have any problems or run into any trouble, call the office. Let us know what's going on so we can do something about it. If you see somebody taking down signs and destroying materials that we put out, get a license plate number and pull it into us. We ran an ad today in the newspaper that gave the contacts names in the various communities and where to call and who to see. We still need contacts in Lyman, Henry, Velveeta, and McGrew. If any of you know anybody that will volunteer to be a petition person in one of these communities, let us know after the meeting. Ask around. Try to recruit somebody, and then let us know. We also need volunteers to work at the office, day or evening. Anybody that can give a few hours, let us know. Give your name, phone number to Mona and Sue, and what hours, what days that you might be able to make yourself available. The office is averaging 120 signatures per day. When we first started, we had 3 people in 2 days walked into the office and signed the petition. We are now up to 45 and 50 people per day walking into the office. That's amazing. Only 10 or so days to go. We're going to make it if everybody keeps working and recruiting and pushing. This is your county. Public servants work for you, the taxpayer, the voting public. You put them in office, and you can take them out of office through your vote. No one of the biggest excuses we get for not signing a petition is fear. No one in this country should have to fear for signing a petition. I think that tells a lot about what's going on here in this community. get an answer. And I think part of the problem has brought this group together is that answers have not come. Public servants must be held accountable, and they must be responsible to the people, not the other way around. We have a little more good news tonight, besides just the number of petition names that we have. The Omaha World Herald carried a story about the petition drive. This was picked up by the Wild Services, and this afternoon at the petition office, CBS News from New York called us. They want to know what's going on. They gave us their fax number and said, send us everything you've got, and we're going to cooperate 100%. This weekend, we need to go to places where people gather. Look in newspapers for activities that are taking place in your community. Auctions, church gatherings, and on Sunday, go to churches, restaurants. Many, many people go out to eat after going to church. Shopping centers, parking lots. During the week, go to cafes, bars, bingo, and bowling, and other places where people gather. And if that fails, then go door to door. Give us 2 hours a day. If everybody in this room would give us 2 hours a day for the next 10 days, we will have 2,000 signatures. After the meeting, I'd like to talk with Schlothauer, Valdez, Boppre, Richters. Would stay for a period of time afterwards so we can have a little meeting. At this point, we'd like to open the meeting for questions. Try to answer your questions about the petition drive, anything, if you have any ideas, any feedback, anything that you can tell us how we can assist you better, please let us know. Anybody have anything they'd like to say? Anybody in the families that are here tonight that have been affected, would you like to say anything?
I'd like to say something. In the newspaper today, while they talked about Joe, they said that he had double the amount of alcohol that he should have had in his body to be driving. I have a documented statement from Vern Hessler, one of the investigators from the sheriff's office who investigated the accident, that said whenever he arrived on the scene to investigate the accident, that there was no sign or no odor of alcohol. It's on a document that's filed with the sheriff's office. And a pathology report from the pathology group, they had the urine and the blood alcohol at 2.8 and 2.1. On the death certificate, it said that the alcohol content was, let's see, how did that say that over? That it was not related to the accident. So they're trying to say that he was drunk, and he wasn't. You can get that level of alcohol from 3 beers. So I don't know how many of you drink beer, but if you drink 3 beers and think you're drunk, well, that's up to you. But he weighed 300 300 pounds, and he is 6'3". He had a high tolerance for alcohol at that weight and that height. So, but they said the paper is a bunch of hooey. If you want to believe it, that's up to you. But myself, I don't. Thank you.
Gentlemen, we want to remember our purpose. Our purpose is, as stated, put it out on flyers, advertise it, we want people to know we're not here on a witch hunt. We are here to get answers. We are here to ask people that are responsible, public servants, to come forward and to give answers to the people that are deserving of them. We are here to find truth. What happened to Sharon Condon and Richard Valdez? What happened to Steve Schlothauer? And what happened to Joe Richter? We know, and after viewing the crime scene video tonight, you will know that many, many things were withheld and the truth is not known. Would anybody, Schlothauer family, like to say anything? Bill?
I'd like to tell these people here that the newspaper came and interviewed me when I was at Denny's office, and he asked for my personal opinion of what I thought happened. And the way I think everybody here knows how that newspaper kind of has a way of turning things around a little bit. But it says right here, he put in the paper that in my brother's case, speaking just for this case, that the case ended with a June '89 acquittal of Roger Sykes, who was accused of the murder. And I want these people here to know and tell your friends that he was not acquitted. The case was dismissed by Judge Hippie. And the last person that was on the stand when the case was dismissed was Chief of Police Livingston. And they called a recess. And the jury stepped out, took a recess, they came back in, and Chief of Police Livingston was not, they did not have the chance to ask him the questions they wanted to ask because Judge Hippie stepped in and dismissed the case because he said there was a lack of evidence. The jury, he overridden what the jury, they spent 3 days listening to testimony, and he does have the right to dismiss the case like that. But the word acquittal means that Roger Sykes was found not guilty, and that's not true. And I spoke to the newspaper guy that wrote the article today, Tom, and he had a way of rewording it, and what he told me was that he took the word acquittal from the same reporter that reported this 4 years ago, and that reporter at that time used the word acquittal. And so he just went ahead and used the word acquittal, and that's not correct. He was not found not guilty. So you can see how the newspaper has a way of wording things and get away with it. But I think these people here probably already understand that. That's all I want to say.
I'm Steve's sister, and I just want to thank all of you for being here. It's very discouraging as a family member to go through this, and I think one of the reasons that Stuart, my mom, and I are here, and my husband, is so that none of you will ever experience what we've gone through. There are no words to describe it. There's no answers. You are left hanging. You've lost somebody that you love. There's no explanations for anything. No one will tell you anything. They treat you like you are an absolute low-class individual that just came off the street that they don't ever want in their office. They don't answer phone calls. I can't begin to tell you, except that seeing all of you here makes me have faith in human beings that maybe, there are people out here that do care.
Anybody else like to say something this evening? Yeah.
I'd like to say one thing. After looking at all these faces, I'd say more than 9 out of 10 of you, I don't even know you. And personally, I don't see any of my friends here in this room tonight. And that hurts. To think that I am not supported by my close friends. You people are all strangers. And it does. It feels very good to see.
Anybody else? Anything that you'd like to say?
I'd like to say just one thing, Denny. Rather than get into verbal mudslinging with the people at the courthouse, I'm glad that you folks are here, because from the beginning, through the help of my friend Denny, when I started doing the research for the initial flyers that went out, what I told people is, these aren't rumors. This isn't information that I published from things that I heard on the street. These are all facts that are documented, that unfortunately were filed away in our county courthouse. The things that you will hear today and see today, if you're around for the crime scene video, are all things that are documented. The crime scene video was taken by the Nebraska State Police. The documents that we have to back them up are from the state police, the county sheriff, city police. Naturally, or unfortunately, when we raise questions, instead of our public officials saying, yes, we support any type of investigation, we do not want speculation or rumors to be in the community. We want the people that put us in office to know that we can be trusted, that we are working for you. Instead of them saying, we welcome the investigation, we want to sign the petition, send it to the Attorney General, and send somebody independent, what they choose to say is, we've already investigated this, the case is closed, these people are blowing a lot of hot air. We're not going to respond to any of their allegations. We have their documents here. If you don't have time to see them here today, go by the office tomorrow. We're right across the courthouse. We will take all the time to speak with you or any friends that may be skeptical. We will not subject you to rumors or hearsay. We will give you court documents to read, court pictures and evidence so that you can see it. All we're doing is saying, this doesn't make sense. Please answer the questions. We would love to hear them say, let the investigation continue. We support it 100%, rather than hear them say that we're not. And basically that's what we've been hearing. And I also appreciate your time. It's been a long time from the time that we used to look out there and there was maybe 1 or 2 people. There's one person that I really appreciate that isn't here. He's a local businessman, and he gave me permission and our friends to go in there and sign up petitions. His comment was, pardon the expression, there is no way in hell that I would sign that petition. But I respect these people's right to seek answers, and I support them, and they're welcome in my place at any time to talk to whomever feels the same way that they do. That is wonderful to hear. You don't have to agree with us, but for the people that are out there knocking down signs, knocking down the people that are working hard at it, they should learn that maybe someday they will need to express an opinion also. It's all right. You only should live in fear in the old Germany or the old Russia. You know, this, like Danny says, this is our county, this is our city. You know, when we have questions, we should have them be answered. Thank you.
For those of you that have not seen the stated purposes, what we're doing, will be handed out, available to you over here tonight. Please help yourself, pass them out. It's not accuse anybody of anything. It says, we want answers. One thing that we are anticipating is that probably somebody will tell the citizens of this county that if they call a grand jury, it's going to cost thousands and thousands of dollars. And the poor taxpayers of this community are going to have to pay that. Don't let them hoodwink you into thinking that the grand jury is going to cost thousands and thousands of dollars, and this county is going to go deep in debt because you went out and tried to find justice for the people of this community. If they want to talk about cost consciousness, if the grand jury cost $300,000, which is a lot of money, but it also takes $30,000 a year to keep a person in the state penitentiary. And if an innocent man is held in the state penitentiary for 30 years, how much money is that? I think it totals up to somewhere around $900,000 plus a human life. One other thing we'd like to say is please do not put flyers on cars. It is against the law in this community. So please don't do it. If you have any questions about what you should or should not do, call us. If we don't have the answer, we'll find it. Yes?
If they do have, okay, like let's say they get a petition for the grand jury, who will be the judge and who will be the prosecutor? I mean, they're not going to have judges from this county, are they? Where are they going to come from?
The petition and the request for a grand jury will be taken to the Attorney General of the state of Nebraska, who will ask for a special prosecutor to be appointed by the Attorney General's office, and also that a judge be appointed and to be outside of the county.
What about jurors? Will they have jurors on
They will
that?
probably, that I don't know that, but I would imagine that they would be taking jurors from the county. And hopefully they pick all of you. Any other questions? Everything else we can answer for you this evening. Any more numbers?
996.
996. But we need to go way past that. Sure. Everybody pick up a petition, pound on doors, go where the people are, go to your churches, your ministers, your neighbors. Every time you go out to play cards, drink beer in the local pub, take your petition with you. When you go see your girlfriend, ask her how to sign it, or whoever. You know? Any other questions? Yes, way back here.
I want to know if you can tell the people whether or not the film you're going to watch was presented to the jury.
The crime scene videotape that we're going to show you this evening was taken by a Nebraska State Patrol officer at the crime scene. Parts of it are a little hard to take, so if you have a queasy stomach, please be aware. At least part of this video was shown to the jury in the Boppre trial. It was edited. We don't know how much because we never got to see what was actually shown to the jury. We do know that when the jury was shown this video, the audio was turned off, so they did not hear what was being said in the background by the officers at the scene. And I ask you to be aware of two things when you listen to this. Number one, they named Jeff Boppre right in the crime scene video before the whole thing is even, investigation is even really proceeded. They also named, or talk about, not name, but talk about an informant at least 3 times. Bring in the informant. We have what was said has been brought up and magnified by the people that worked on the tape in California. So afterwards, if you want to read the transcript, I'm more than happy to make it available to you. Back there.
Is it true that a forensics expert was brought in from Fort Collins and he stated on the stand there was no way that Richard Valdez wrote the J. Boppre with the paint because he was actually there before he hit the floor?
That was not true.
That's not true?
Any other rumors you heard? You'd like to dispel any rumors, pro or con? Okay?
Excuse me, Denny. We might say that there is a forensics expert from Douglas County, Nebraska, that did state that in his opinion, it was physically impossible for the crime to have happened the way that it was stated that it happened. Correct me if I'm wrong.
During the evidentiary hearing that was held in front of Judge Sippy in this county, the forensic took the stand and testified to that. The crime could not have happened the way Alan Neiman said it happened. One important other thing to listen for in this, a couple of three things. Number one, Jeff Boppre supposedly walked up to the side door of Richard Valdez's home, knocked on the door. Richard Valdez asked him, "Who's there?" He said, "Jeff," and then the door was open. It would be very hard to do that because the door was padlocked from the outside. You will see it on the crime scene video. The second most important thing, I think, as far as evidence is concerned, Alan Neiman testified that the last thing that Jeff Boppre did on leaving the house after shooting these two people, that he went out to his car, got a hammer, re-entered the house in the kitchen, reached up and broke out the ceiling light in the kitchen. There's supposedly glass from breaking a light. The glass, as stated in this crime scene video, is under Richard Valdez and not on top of it. It's pretty hard to do that. So, watch the video, listen to it. If you have any questions, we'll answer them. Somebody want to start this thing?
Do you
Yes.
have any evidence that Richard Valdez is being surveillance before the murder?
Yes, we do. We have sworn affidavits that he was under surveillance. The police department claimed they did not know who Richard Valdez was at the time of the trial. We have sworn statements that people heard on monitors, on scanners, that the police were watching him and they had a nickname for him, which was
Andre Granatelli. That was 6 months prior to the murder. The person did sign an affidavit to that effect. Also, as you listen to the crime scene video, the individual standing over the body stating it's time to bring in the informant. They had an informant within Richard's circle. That individual, we have sworn testimony on court, that individual saying, "I did not know Richard Valdez." These are the questions that don't match. And again, these are documents from the courthouse. The diagram that Denny has right there, I don't know if he's pointed it out yet. The top is the north side of the house. The northwest bedroom, which is on this corner, on the video, is totally non-existent. This is a crime scene video in which everything in that home, where there was blood, that my brother cleaned up, the northwest section, you'll notice that when the video camera gets to the door casing, it stops. It goes around and it stops again at the other door casing. This room, for some reason or other, the one on this corner, is never shown in that crime scene video. Get a moral support. I bet you the guys donated the TV for the viewing got nervous when they got that up there. Dropped it.
Again, after the video, pick up petitions back here.